I'm Marshall Shannon with Ministry Design Training. Thank you for joining us today. This is a tutorial on project delivery systems. I have provided you with 5 different documents to give you an industry professional's perspective on project delivery systems. This first document is from the Architects Institute of America, and they are going to give you definitions of the characteristics of the 3 project delivery systems. So let's just glance down through. This is only a 3-page document. As you can see here on your screen, this is the first of 3 pages. And so the Architects and the General Contractors of America, that's what AIA is, the Architects, and AGC is the Association of General Contractors. These 2 groups, one designers and the other builders, went together to summarize the delivery systems and to help you get an understanding. So if you look at your left column, they give you some distinctions between delivery and management and technically what the differences are. You need to understand what the difference is because as you read through the document, they're going to be referring to these 2, and so you need to be able to distinguish it. I give you the documentation so that you can educate yourself to prepare yourself to deal with industry professionals. Because if you end up with a language barrier where you're talking English and they're talking German, and you don't understand German, and they may not understand your church speak English, it creates problems. So we're going to step across the aisle as pastors and as ministry leaders, and we're going to read their documentation so that when they speak, we've studied German. In this case, we've studied the industry language and the vocabulary that they use so that we can smoothly communicate and then work together. Here they say there are 3 project delivery methods that this primer defines. Design, bid, build, that's traditional. 60% of the churches built in the country are built by the traditional method. CM@R, that's construction manager at risk. In this document, they do not cover construction management pure agency or construction management fourth party. We dealt with both of those construction management processes in our webinar video. Then they deal with design build. These are the 3 most commonly used, not necessarily for churches, because CM@risk it may be the one that is used the most. I'll give you the numbers. Traditional is used maybe 60 to 65% of the time. Design build is used 30 to 35% of the time. Some say up to 40%. It's become much more popular in the last 20 years. And then construction management is used 1 to 5% of the time. Some would say maybe 5 to 10. But the point is, construction management is not used as much as the other 2, even though it is very much a viable system to use that I have used both as a senior pastor and as a project consultant for a national church builder. Now, it goes through here and talks about how you choose which delivery system to use and explains to us the different characteristics, first of the traditional design, bid, build, 3 prime players, owner, architect, and builder. Matter of fact, it's that way for everyone, for each system, except that the architect and builder are combined in the design build process. So in it, you can get a elementary or ground level foundational understanding of the components and the companies, the players that are involved in each one of these systems. So they talk about traditional, construction management, and then they talk about design build. So you're still in the left column here as they go through and deal with the characteristics that identify each one and the players that are involved. So at the front end of this, you have the definitions that are given, okay, for the traditional and design build and construction management. And this is from the architects and the general contractors. You guys understand? You remember from the webinar recording we did for you, a general contractor, he is holding the contracts with the subcontractors, who are the different tradesmen who do your site work, put in your foundation, frame up your walls and your roof, sheetrock and insulate your building, run and put in and install your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and your structural. And they are all, their contracts are held by the general contractor, and you're paying the general contractor, who turns around and pays the subcontractors. That's traditional, where the architect designs it. He's under a separate contract. You bid it out to qualified general contractors, builders, pick one, and they build it. With design build, you're hiring a design builder who is designing and building your building, probably giving you a guaranteed maximum price, and they design it and build it. And then with construction management, the architect's under a separate contract with you, and the construction manager goes with the architect and under a separate contract with you, the church, and they design the building. The architect designs it. The builder helps, puts his eyeballs on it, brings cost estimating and design ideas to the table, and then they bid it out to subcontractors, because the construction manager is managing it in behalf of the church, and he can either hold the contracts or the church holds it, and you build the building. Now, as you go through this and look at this group this is what they're defining for you, is how the roles are defined, the characteristics of them, and it's from the architect and the general contractor's perspective. Then the next one, and this is the second edition of this one, but gives you both by the Architects and the General Association, or Associated General Contractors of America. This is a much longer 15-page project delivery primer that takes these two groups, and now they're going to do more than just define it and talk about characteristics. Now they're going to get into not only definitions and considerations, but they're going to tell you a great deal more in depth. So if you want to deepen and drill down to understand what they mean when they talk to you, what their words mean, how the contracts work together, what the relationships are, these documents will begin to give you that information. Now, some of the information in the first document we looked at are repeated in this one, and then a number of other things are brand new for you to consider. So here are their definitions. They also deal with the integrated project delivery system, which is bringing all the players on the front end and choosing who's going to help you through the project, which is wise to do regardless of which delivery system you use. They deal with all of this all the way down through. All right, design, build, CM. It's interesting that they did not deal with anything but construction management at risk. They don't say anything about pure agency, which has great benefits to it, as do all of these, and some negatives. Nor do they deal with fourth party, where you've got the church, the designer, the builder, and the construction management fourth party who's working in behalf of the church to work with the builder and the architect, so to give the church some professional representation with the designer and the builder. All of these are systems that have been put together to help the church navigate their way through and to bring benefits to it. And there are reasons why the industry has developed these. They keep trying to find the perfect way to design and build your building, and as long as mankind is involved in it, you know, it's been said there are two perfect buildings designed in the history of mankind in one boat. And beyond that, you're done. And it's been, you know, just that kind of understanding means when people are involved. I started to say two buildings in a boat that were perfectly built, but men built them and God designed them. So I'm not sure they were perfectly built at all. I would not think so. So they give to you here the different disciplines and information provided with the integrated project delivery system. That is not a delivery system. It is a system that can be used by bringing everybody together on the front end. You can use any of them. This is their perspective on it. The third document is brought to you by the construction managers and deals with the owner's guide to project delivery methods. So here's a construction manager who is critiquing and explaining the other delivery systems. So just take that into account as they talk about it, that they are going to tend to slant it toward construction management. So do the design builders, and so do the general contractors. They're all using delivery systems that are in competition with the others. And companies, church builders today and others who are serving the general public in commercial projects, they may use one or all of these. And so in this document, which is 35 pages, not 15 pages or 3 pages, they deal with project delivery methods and try to help you understand what it means. And you note here in 3.4, the integrated project delivery system, that they're talking about that as well. Everyone in the industry would like to have that shape and molded to fit their thinking, to fit with the way that they work together and are comfortable with. What's important here is that the church determine what they're comfortable with and what is God's mind on the matter when it comes to your delivery system. Let me remind you, I told you, you can either select your delivery system and then interview companies who provide that delivery system to compare apples to apples, or you can go and interview the most qualified people that you think would be a good fit for you, and whichever one you pick, you use their delivery system, or maybe they'll provide more than one delivery system that you can choose from. Probably the majority of companies, meaning builders, would use one particular kind more than other. In other words, there might be a company that would offer you design build and traditional design bid build, but they prefer design build. So you have to sort through that. So in this document is, again, a more detailed dealing with, addressing the different delivery methods. The next document I have for you is a 2-page document by the Design Builders Institute of America. I'm trying to get the blue highlighting off there, forgive me. In this pages, they talk about blending together the different industry professionals on the front end, which can be more of a challenge when a design builder is providing both the architect and the construction, to be willing to let someone else come in that they're not controlling, because you've lost one of the benefits of design build is to have one party responsible for both the design and the construction, and that's a positive, a pro. It also can be viewed as a negative because now the church has lost control of not only the construction but now of the design, because the architect is designing it for the builder who he is employed by. But nonetheless, as I dealt with that in the recording, this is their take on it. If you have questions, simply fill out the comment section and we'll try and answer your questions. But this is their position statement on integrated project delivery. The last document that I have for you is dealing with the integrated project delivery, and this one is from these 5 groups, primarily the Associated General Contractors of America and the EIA. In this 45-page document, they deal with the integrated project delivery system and how you go about putting this together. You can get this same document from any of these 5 websites. So you can take them from me as I provided them to you on our MDT website, or you can click on any of these and go download this document. But in it, they deal with an overview and then the pursuit of it, and then look at the first steps, and then they give you a more fully understandable explanation of this delivery system. 45 pages worth of talking to you about it and explaining to you the different levels of collaboration as the industry professionals come together. Be happy to answer your question. Of course, if you need to have me as a pre-construction navigator, I'll be explaining these to you on site or by Skype to be able to help you get control of this information. Well, I'm Marshall Shannon with Ministry Design Training. I hope this tutorial of these support documents will be of help to you as you prayerfully consider which delivery system you should select for your next building project.